Holocaust was in full force. Denmark was one of the only untouchable countries in that area. Word got to the king that the Nazis were planning on entering and taking captive all the Jewish families that were in Denmark, but the king was not having it. He then began to plan his own evacuation for all those families. Within 2 weeks, almost 8,000 Jewish families were taking over to Sweden to escape from the Nazis. Today, it is reported that over 99% of Jewish families from Denmark survived the Holocaust. Only 500 of all of those were taken to the camps, and only 51 did not make it. Going even further than the Holocaust, during the reign of King Xerxes, we see a similar story. Esther, who had just been made queen, thanks to the help of her uncle Mordecai, who had always told her to keep the fact that she was Jewish a secret. After a public act of disobedience, Mordecai, who refused to bow down and to pay respect to one of the king's nobles, informed Esther of Haman's plot to destroy not only him, but all the Jews in that area. He pleaded with Esther to not only go into the king's presence, but to change his heart towards the Jewish people. Esther, full of fear, knew that she could not enter the presence of the king without being summoned first. But Mordecai stressed to her that if it is not you, Esther, that speaks on behalf of all the Jews, God will use other means to save us. But he looked at her and he told her, Esther, what if you were made queen for this very reason? What if you were made queen for this very cause? What if you were made queen for such a time as this? It's 2011, and just like Esther, you have that same opportunity to embrace the call that the king is giving you. Romans 8 talks about the world who is waiting for the unveiling of the sons and daughters of God. Are you willing to stand up and be the sons and daughters of God? Matthew 5 says, blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called the sons and the daughters of God. You and I are the peacemakers. You and I have that same calling that Esther had every single day. Every single day, there's an expanse of people in Elizabeth who are facing death. People who are unaware of that relationship that God longs to have with them. That expanse of people who do not know the abundant life that is at the lips of our Savior. So I challenge you, will you be the peacemaker? Will you be the bridge? Will you unite the hearts of youth to the heart of God today? And if you decide to embrace that challenge, I ask you to pray. Pray for opportunity. Pray for a stranger to come up to you. Pray for people to be drawn to you today. And God will be sure to move through you. Ask God to give you boldness today, and you will see transformation, not only in your life, but to those people